In today's video, I'm gonna share with you guys how to spot exhaustion in the market. This is something we talked about today on the live stream. And when I say exhaustion, let's look at this. The move from right here all the way down to the low, roughly 191 points. Or what about this move we had right up here where the market dropped essentially another 174 points? But wait, there's even more yet. What if that thing also occurred right over here and the market dropped 249 points? Now let's dive in and take a look at how we can spot exhaustion. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull up a 5-minute chart out here on the NQ and notice right at that same point I showed you guys a few moments ago, we came right up the VWAP, the market dropped. We came up the VWAP again, the market dropped. We came up the VWAP again and the market dropped. But it's not that simple. What I'm going to share with you guys is not VWAP. VWAP, however, could also be another point of why the market is likely to turn. Now, an easier way to spot exhaustion in the market is going to be Tom DeMark's 9 count. And essentially see right here, we had a 9 count. Right here, a 9 count. And right there, a 9 count. We also had one at the low. And look at that move from the low all the way up to this first move up here was another 224 points. Now, I do want to warn you guys, not every single 9 count is going to work. Today just happened to be one of those days. And we're talking about this on the live stream. And it seemed like every single 9 count was firing off. However, if we see a 9 count and we can also have some other reason to take a trade, like for instance, right up in here, we had the VWAP, the market rolled over. Right up in here again, we had the VWAP, the market rolls over. Right over here, we had VWAP and the market rolled over again. However, let's go ahead and look at this area right here on the chart where the market topped out right around 10:30 in the morning. Now for this, I want to go ahead and pull over a book map real quick. I want your eyes to focus on a couple of different things. One, notice what we had right above us, right above that VWAP, right above where that 9 count was. We also had liquidity in the market right up here at 19,980. We had 66 resting orders waiting to be filled. Then up here at 19,988 and a half, we had another 62 contracts. So think about the liquidity up there as a point of resistance as well. Then as we look out here and we look at the bubbles over here in Bookmap, you might be saying, Mike, what in the world is a bubble? Just think about the larger the bubble, the more aggressive the traders were on that direction. So a green bubble would represent more aggression to the buy side. A red bubble would be more aggression to the sell side. However, a lot of times we'll see that aggression also take place, aka absorption in the market near turning points in the market. Now I want you guys to look at something real quick. Where we had this large bubble right up here, right around 10:30 in the morning, what did the market do? The market pulled back, and as we came back up towards that level, were the bubbles getting larger, meaning were the buyers becoming more aggressive as they're trying to make a run, maybe up here, taking out that liquidity at 980. I think we can all agree the bubbles over here are much smaller than that large bubble that we had right up in here. So now we have multiple points and reasons to potentially look for a high probability trade. And in this case, which could lead to a large reward with a relatively tight stop loss. One of the areas we could place our stop loss would be on the other side of some of this rest in liquidity. Now, let's just use this example, the 980 liquidity. If we were to go ahead and place our stop loss a couple points above it, maybe 19,982, and then we jump right over here to this chart over here. Let's say when we had that 9 count, you did not even enter the market until we broke the low of the candle. Now, I like to be a little bit more aggressive on my trades, as you guys have probably seen during the live streams. You're getting in about 958, and the market runs all the way down to about 791. Now, if we look at that, that is roughly 166 points. Now, let's go ahead and see what would our risk be on that trade if we use Bookmap to identify the resting liquidity in the market. We said we put our stop loss right around 19,982. So if we did that roughly from the entry point, we would risk roughly 25 points with the potential in this case of making 166 points. You might say, well, Mike, there's no way you knew it was going to go down 166 points. You are correct. But look at the angle of the VWAP. Is the VWAP angling up or angling down? It's angling down, just like with the moving averages. If the moving averages are angling to the downside, guess what? The path of least resistance is likely lower. And if we look lower, if the market's going to go lower, where could be a logical target? Well, we could come back and revisit this prior swing point right over here. So if you're trying to set the trade up, we could also say, okay, maybe we'll go just down to the candle bodies. If you only went for that, that's still 83 points of potential profit, risking roughly 25 points on that trade. Now, this is how I like to use Tom DeMark's 9-count indicator, along with maybe VWAP or any other, Fibonacci ratio, Fibonacci level, whatever the case may be, a moving average, it doesn't matter. But being able to spot the 9-count and then look, do we have anything else in that area that could give me more confidence that the market is likely to turn? Then we come over and look at the order flow component. And in this case, notice where I said we had that large bubble. We came back up to test it. As we started to come back down below that larger bubble, look, we could actually enter the market at 971. Now let's compare that real quick. 971 to the low of this candle being 19,957. So by using order flow, aka bookmap in this case, we knew where to place our resting order. We knew where to place our stop loss right above that liquidity, aka potentially resistance in the market. And we had a better entry in the market than just basically using candlestick charts. Now, if you guys want to check out Bookmap and make sure you get the best deal out there, use the link in the description box down below. If you guys like to learn how to use order flow to better time your entries, then make sure to watch this next video right here.